Hi, I'm Paul Strickrida, and if you've been thinking of becoming a professional voice talent, this is for you. There are lots of companies that will tell you how easy it is to get started in this business. All you need is a laptop, some software, a microphone, but not this one, and a credit card. Just sign up for their site and service, and they'll show you all you need to know to become the next movie trailer man or SpongeBob's sister. Now, before you fork over a small fortune, have an umbrella ready, because in the next few minutes I'll make sure that realism will rain on your parade by popping a few voiceover balloons filled with unrealistic expectations and too good to be true promises. Hey, I'm not on a mission to destroy your dreams. I just want to wake you up. In a way, a voiceover career is like a microwave meal. The picture on the box looks great, but the inside usually does not resemble the outside. That's why in the next few minutes I'd like to share some inside information with you. But why listen to me? Well, first of all, I don't want your money, just a few minutes of your time. Secondly, I've been doing voiceover since I came out of high school, and I've learned a few things along the way. This is me in a Dutch recording studio at the beginning of my career. 25 years later, I'm still at it. I'm an expert contributor at Internet Voice Coach, and thousands of people like you read my Double Dutch blog every month. Trust me, I know what I'm talking about. You do not have to agree with everything I'm about to say. Keep an open mind and remember what resonates with you. Ready? Here are my 16 reasons why you should not become a voiceover pro. Number 1. People have told you that you have such a great voice. Having a nice voice certainly helps, but it's such a small piece of a big puzzle. Owning a Steinway does not make you a pianist. Being able to play a few notes doesn't make you a musician, and only a few musicians will ever make it to this place, Carnegie Hall. Once you're ready for Carnegie Hall, you still have to beat out the competition. Reason number 2. You don't need any training to become a voiceover. How hard can this be? Anyone can read. Would you jump into the ocean without knowing how to swim? Can you learn how to swim from reading a book or listening to a recording? Even the best swimmers need constant training from a top coach. Here's the third reason. You can hone your skills on the job, even if the client did not select you. Auditioning is still great practice. Is that what they told you? To put the horse behind the cart? Nonsense! You practice to audition. You don't audition to practice. Practicing the wrong things over and over again makes you even better at what you're not good at. Practice prepares you for Carnegie Hall. But the audience expects you to be ready and give the performance of a lifetime night after night after night. Bottom line, practice precedes performance. For the fourth reason, we'll get down to business. You don't really need any solid business skills. You want to be a voiceover artist, not an entrepreneur. Fine-tuning your talent is essential for doing the work, but being business savvy is crucial to getting the work. If you don't treat it as a business, it will never be one. You might be hooked on voiceovers, but have you had any bites lately? So let's talk about misconception number 5. You hardly need any money to get started. Really? Then who's going to pay for all this, for starters? It's easy to buy a car with no money down, but you can't buy yourself a voiceover career, especially if you barely know how to drive. Budding voiceovers go broke breaking into this business. Experienced voice actors can't make ends meet anymore. Unless you're independently wealthy, I suggest you keep your day job. Reason number 6 is all about branding. Some believe that you don't need to know how to market yourself. Unfortunately, being outstanding does not make you stand out. If people don't know you exist, don't expect them to hire you. If you want to play the trumpet professionally, you better learn how to toot your own horn. And yes, that's me. So where do you find these fabulous voiceover gigs? Well, that brings me to myth number 7. Voice casting sites and agents will get you work. You know, it seems like every week a new voice casting site opens its doors ready to take your money and promote your pipes. Talent or experience not required. Here's the thing, though. No, not that thing. A temp agency funnels leads. You have to nail the job interview and do the work. And even if you nailed that interview, the client might decide to give that job to someone cheaper. Yeah, you can find a good deal on Craigslist, but believe me, it's not the place to be discovered by a national brand and land a deal to voice their new advertising campaign. So let's talk money for a moment. Professional voiceovers do get a nice paycheck, don't they? And especially with a home studio, they can work in their PJs, right? Misconception number 8, it's easy money. These two false assumptions in one line could cost you dearly. The big names make the big bucks, and easy never does it. Meet Mr. Peanut and Mr. Nissan. And here's Mr. Hyundai. Jeff bridges any gap between sellers and buyers. And how about Mr. Visa Card? These guys make millions, and they're worth every penny. For mere mortals such as you and me, it's a very different story. We don't have to watch out for the big guns. We have to be on the lookout for undercutting colleagues shooting us in the back by offering their services at bargain basement rates out of ignorance, desperation, probably both. Clients love this dog-eat-dog mentality because they're certain to get a great deal. If you think that $50 is nice for half an hour of your voiceover time, you're confusing gross income with net profit. Each game has many, many players. Only a few make it to the top. What about the audiobook narrators, the virtual tour guides, and that voice coming out of your GPS? Now that's something you could record on the side, correct? You might not make a fortune, but who cares? It's a great part-time job. Most people in this business aren't able to make a full-time income by working every once in a while. Many are struggling to make a full-time income even when they're giving this career all they've got and then some. Although it seems unfair, the results you get are not always equivalent to the energy you put into your new career. More and more people enter the voiceover field every day. A site like Voices.com alone has a bank of 25,000 voices, and rates are steadily going down. Now, the next two things I hear all the time at parties and other social events. I love cartoons! Who doesn't love cartoons? But remember this, being a character and creating a character are two very different things. Unless your name is Bob Bergen, the voice of Porky Pig, Tweety, and many more. Here's the other thing I hear all the time. I can do some mean impressions. Well, you better be amazing, because you won't get a second chance to redo a first impression. It's nice that you can sound like someone else, don't get me wrong, but it's even nicer if you can make a career out of being you. And there's certainly less competition. Some folks think that because two careers seem related, they can easily transition from one to the other. So here's number 12 on my list. I used to work for a local radio station. Believe me, I know how to work a mic. I think you can agree that writing news bulletins and writing novels are two very different things. Reading the news and narrating an audiobook are just as unrelated, and the most experienced radio jocks find it very, very hard to get rid of that announcer voice they have cultivated for years. However, some radio people are now enjoying a successful voiceover career, me included, and you know what? They already have the perfect face. Here's another reason why you might be considering a voiceover career. For once in your life, you'd love to do a job where people will actually appreciate you. How can I put this tactfully? Your job as a voiceover talent is to fulfill your client's needs, not to make people massage your ego. This business, more than anything else, revolves around selection, known to some as rejection. Most of the jobs you audition for you'll never get, and you'll never know why. Can you handle that? If you need an ego boost, look somewhere else. Because people will applaud anything, especially if it gets them on TV. Yes, anything. Voiceovers are invisible ornaments. Perhaps you're looking at a voiceover career as an escape from the rat race. Because you crave variety. Voice actors never know what the next day will bring. How exciting! Perhaps you don't need a steady paycheck, benefits, and a 9-to-5 schedule. Perhaps you think stability is boring and you love an uncertain freelance lifestyle. The rest of the world, however, expects you to pay your bills on time, every time. But wouldn't it be great to build a voiceover studio in your house? Because it's great to work from home. Yeah, it's the best commute ever, I can't argue with that. But your dream job will never leave you, and distraction is always around the corner. So go tell your kids to stop fighting because mommy has a Fortune 500 client on the line. And go tell your neighbors to silence their lawn mowers, weed whackers, and snow blowers. Stop all ground and air traffic. Go ahead and spend thousands of dollars soundproofing the basement. Now you're ready to audition for that Craigslist job. And here's the last reason why you shouldn't become a professional voiceover yet. You honestly think that you're the next best thing since Bob Bergen. I'll be straight with you. Big egos don't make amigos. If your balloon is filled with hot air, people will be happy to pop it. But if you're really good at what you do, others will sing your praises. Happy clients are our best credentials. As I said in the beginning, it wasn't my intention to destroy your dreams, but I hope I've woken you up to a different picture of what it's really like inside the box. And what you do with this information is entirely up to you. Perhaps you'll choose a different career path, or perhaps you're more determined than ever to make it to Carnegie Hall. Either way, may your voice be with you. And while you go back on your journey, please stop by and say hi at nethervoice.com. Thanks.